Today I have a really special treat for you. If you're a young woman or a young adult wondering maybe what your next move might be in your career or life, or maybe you're a mom, you're a stay-at-home mom, and now you want to like jumpstart your career out of the blue, I have Katie Lynn with me, and you're the creator of the Queen Maker program.
Yes.
So I want you to tell everybody like what that program specifies. That she's going to be your savior, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm here to take their life to the next level.
Exactly.
Basically, is what's happening. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it is a 3-month group coaching program. It's done all online. You have access to me as your one-on-one coach, so super supportive. And we have group calls because I feel like there's so much power in community, especially when women come together who are wanting to see each other win in their lives. And it is all about learning how to step into your power, learning how to organize your life, learning how to get rid of self-sabotage. I don't know about you, but that's one of the things that I used to really wrestle with. Learning how to navigate like conflict in your relationships or really communicate more effectively. It's just a really powerful space for women to really create their personal freedom and the love that they so deeply desire.
Where did this start from? Like, what inspired you to start this program, and how long ago did you do it?
Yeah, so this program is pretty new, but I've been creating coaching programs for about 2 years now. I started as a psychotherapist and really felt like in the world of psychotherapy, I couldn't be as dynamic as I felt was necessary to create the change that most women are seeking, right? Because we want change and we want it fast and we want it to be really awesome and exciting and beautiful, and it can be scary.
Yeah.
So what I did was I said, okay, instead of doing like one-on-one therapy, let me start coaching and let me bring women together. Because when we bring women together, we get to see, oh my gosh, she's like me and I'm like her and I'm not in this alone and I don't have to struggle by myself, and like I can get support and especially support from women who want to see me thrive and who are holding me to my highest. So I took my background in psychology, everything that I learned there, my background in physiology, spirituality, and also personal development, and I basically took it and made the most dynamic program on the market for women because we're dynamic inherently.
What do you think it is that women kind of go through, that we kind of self-sabotage? Like, what is it in us that always go to that dark place?
Yes, it's so interesting, and this is an amazing question. I love this question. Our minds as humans were wired for familiarity. So we want what's familiar, which means that if struggle was familiar growing up, we will create that unconsciously, yes, in our lives. We will create it ourselves. Even though, and you will watch your life and go, why did I just do that? Right? Like, why do I keep running into this pattern again and again and again? And it's because your mind is just wired to create what's familiar, which is why change can be really hard too. When you start to try to implement that consistent workout program or drink all the water you're supposed to drink, right?
You went there first, and I'm like,
or not.
To me, I'm like, oh, working out.
Yes,
So
yes, exactly. Or not eat the sugar or whatever it is, right? And it's because just that's our human wiring. And so if we can be aware of that, if we can know that about ourselves, we can actually shift it super quick, which is what I'm here to do with all these women.
How do we do that super quick?
Yes, super quick. So you have, so part of what I teach in the Queen Maker is you review everything that your strategy has been, right? So like if you know, oh gosh, I emotionally eat, or when I hit 3 months in a new relationship, I break it off, or I push my partner away, or like I have these tendencies, and once you can realize, oh my gosh, this is my pattern, you can catch it and know that that pattern is not you. It's not who you are. You didn't come here to be addicted to sugar or bail on your workouts or anything like that. You came here to live a really beautiful, awesome life. So those patterns are just old stuff that's been conditioned from childhood that like you get to let go of. And so once you are aware of them, you catch it and you pick something new to do instead. You pick a different way of being.
How long would it take for you to kind of snap out of it, so to speak?
Oh my gosh, working in the Queen Maker, super quick. It's a 12-week program, and you start with who you be in this moment, and you really move into creating who you want to become. And it's an active program. So there's videos that I teach that make these lessons really digestible. And then there's also like invitations and challenges that you get to go out into the world and incorporate them immediately so that your body gets familiar with, oh, this is something new, let me do it. And you're in community and you have my support. So, I have the women that like message me and they're like, oh my gosh, Katie, I just walked by, a donut shop and I didn't walk in and I didn't go get one. Or like I got up and I got my workout in, right? So like you have people to celebrate you and people who are going through it with you so that you're like.
And they're rooting for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You're rooting for them, and it's like a team almost.
Exactly. And like, I don't know about you, but like when I was starting to make changes like this in my own life, because this whole concept came from my own life, like I was kind of surrounded by people who didn't really get it. They didn't really understand.
Right.
And it felt pretty lonely at first because I'm like, oh my gosh, I stopped drinking. And my friends are like, oh my God, you stopped drinking? You know, like, what are you going to do with yourself? And I'm like, I'm going to like go through my life sober and like see what happens, you know? But that kind of thing. And so when I got into groups, I was like, oh, this is so much better because I don't feel so alone. I feel supported. I feel like I'm being championed in this process. And it makes me start to believe that I can really, really do it.
You said something that was so interesting, that sometimes people get into a relationship and 3 months in, they push back.
Yes.
I hear that so many times, especially with some of my close friends. I feel like it's just a very common thing that happens.
Yeah.
I actually did it with my now husband. I pushed back around that, kind of around the 3 month mark. I kind of like just started getting in arguments for no reason. We essentially broke up for like a weekend, but we got back together. But still, I was like, and I did that with other relationships as well. Why is it that we do that?
Oh, such a good question. I did it with my partner too. Yeah. We like broke up and for like a month.
Yeah.
And what we do is, as women, we're wired very differently from men. We process information differently. Our bodies are physiologically different. We have a completely different set of hormones, and we're not actually educated about this. So at the 3 month mark, as women, we will need a commitment of some sort. We will need to know, what is this? Where are we going? Because we're also operating within what we would call a biological clock. So whether or not we want to produce children, this clock is running inherently.
Yeah.
And so it will run unconsciously if we're not aware of it. And so at the 3 month mark, we will want to know, are we official? Are we monogamous? And if we don't feel comfortable communicating our truth in that moment with this person, we will push them away. Because now it's like, oh gosh, I can't tell him what I really want because then he won't want me anymore. And then I don't know what I really want, so how do I even communicate it? Or maybe I do know what I really want and I'm terrified to share it with him. And like, so it creates this dynamic where, again, we want familiarity. If I know single and I'm comfortable in single, then I'm not gonna deal with whatever's here because it's way too confronting, so I'm gonna go back to single. Even if we know we want that committed relationship, or we want to be married, or we want to become mamas, or whatever that is. So at the 3 month mark, it's our inherent biological threshold.
Yeah.
Of like, I'm gonna need to know if we're on or we're off, because if we're off, like I need to keep going because I can't, quote unquote, and this is one thing women will say all the time, I can't waste time. I don't have time to waste.
No, it's true. I mean, you feel it even in your 20s.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So it's like, now I'm in my 30s, married, I have twins, but it definitely was a journey to get there, you know, this whole time. I'm going through not an issue, but I'm going through being a working mom, trying to balance the life of my kids and coming here to work and everything else outside of that. And our industry is so interesting because we do go to concerts and that's considered work. Like, I know that doesn't seem like work for many people, but like I am in a way required to attend these shows, and then that's like takes that time out of my evenings, sometimes my weekends and things like that. And I struggle with the guilt. Like I struggle with that, like sometimes my kids don't even cry that I leave. And I'm like, aren't you gonna miss me? Because they're like so used to me leaving sometimes. And so how can I deal with those issues?
Yeah.
Would you recommend?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, I totally resonate because I've always been a working mama and I love my work. I love this work so much.
Yeah.
And how I framed it, my mom actually said something really powerful. She said, your role is to grow him up. And that really shifted my perspective because your role is to make them really awesome human beings, whatever they want to be. And so part of being human is knowing that like your daughter's going to watch you and be like, I want to do that too. I want to have a cool role in society like my mom. And I want to be able to go and help people and serve people and bring them information that's helpful and know that I'm leaving my babies with people who love them, who care for them, who are going to be consistent, you know, when I can't be, maybe.
Right.
And so knowing that you're teaching them how to build relationships with people and not be reliant on you completely, which is a huge strength. You're teaching them that you're going to come back, which is beautiful in terms of development and attachment styles for kids. You're teaching them that you can have it all. You can love your work and be a mama whose kids know that they love them.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's about like, what perspective am I holding? You know, and am I holding a perspective that's empowering me, or am I holding a perspective that I'm using to actually like beat myself up? And like that's a
the
game
thing.
changer.
I'm always beating myself up. I'm always like thinking of the
Yeah.
negative. I don't ever think of all the positive things I do for them. I'm just like, oh, I'm not there enough. Oh gosh, I gotta leave. Okay, I can't. And like race home, try to make it by nap time, and then they're already asleep, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I just feel like defeated all the time, basically. But
yeah. And that was so hard as I was a single mama for like my first,
I don't know
would
how
say,
you do it. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a single mom.
It was wild. And I had so much support. I was super blessed because I had so much family support. So I knew like I was leaving him. Yeah, but same guilt. And then finally I was like, you know what? He is not going to remember like necessarily what I said. He's going to remember how I am with him.
Right.
And he's going to remember, you know, that I loved him, that I was as present as I could be. And his biggest thing is he wants me to be happy. You know, as kids, they just want their parents to be happy.
For sure.
And so if you're happy and when you're with them, you're happy and you're loving on them, they are going to think you are the best mom in the whole entire world.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This was such a fun little crash course. So if you want to get more info on the Queenmaker program, where can everybody find you?
They can go to www.thequeenmaker.live or you can find me on Instagram at @SheIsKatieLynn.
Katie Lynn, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
and
you.
it was so wonderful to meet you. This was amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.